Hi, I'm back. I've been away for a while. I've had some new dreams and visions, and this is one I just had last night, or early this morning. You could say. I believe it was the today's the 31st, so that was like maybe March 30th through March 31st. So this is what happened. Before I went to sleep, I was watching the YouTuber sharing the gifts. About him saying how the Most High is letting him know that there needs to be more harvesters or more workers for him. So I asked the Most High, I prayed, and I asked him to reveal to me what it is he wanted me to do, because I really feel like I'm not necessarily doing those things. And if I am, not to the extent I should be doing it, and I know I'm not. I feel like I'm not. So I asked him what it is that he, wanted me to do. So, and I asked him to reveal it to me, as I often do. Which I suggest to anybody. If you want to go to the Most High, ask him to reveal things to you so you can have a true spiritual experience with him. So when I went to sleep, I woke up and I was in a neighborhood. It looked like any other neighborhood in the United States, except I knew it was actually in Ethiopia. And I have had a few dreams about being like in Africa, in Ethiopia, and different places. I've even had dreams of like flying there. Anyway, so I was in Ethiopia. And it was a bright and sunny day. The houses were like beige. The houses pretty much all looked the same, just like any regular subdivision. So I knocked on the door, and an Ethiopian girl came to the door. I've seen a lot of Ethiopians like on TV with this specific style of braids. The women that have like one braid on the left and one braid on the right, and at the bottom of the braid the hair is loose or something. You know what I'm talking about, like, I don't know what they call it, but that's how her hair was. And she told me, when I opened the door, she basically told me, I need you to save Yisrael. And I said, save Yisrael? She said, yes, she's upstairs, and the word Yisrael is unspeakable in this house. It's against the law to say that word in this house. She's like, my father doesn't allow me to say that word. So I found out that she was hiding a black female upstairs that, which is basically, her name was Yisrael. So she led me up the stairs, and I saw her father. She was like, quick, you have to, save Yisrael and get her out of here. And don't let my father see her. He doesn't know that she's staying in this house. I've been hiding her. So she led me up this staircase that was spiral, but in like a square form. So we got to the top, and in this small room, we opened the door, and I saw this woman. She was calling her Yisrael. The woman was Dionne Warwick. I don't know why the woman was Dionne Warwick, but that's who she was, Dionne Warwick. So she's like, you gotta save Yisrael. So I take Dionne Warwick, which the Ethiopian girl is calling Yisrael. I take her downstairs. We go down the steps, and we run out the house past the father, and he doesn't see us. We both see him. And when we get out of the house, there's this huge, it's like a dinosaur or a dragon. And the thing about it that I remember most was, like, it's the same way as when you're young and you go to like a dinosaur museum, and they'll have like the dinosaur bones on like a scalpel, or I don't know what it's called, a scalpel, whatever they call it. But they have the dinosaur bones like standing up. And you see how big a dinosaur really is. This was the biggest thing I ever experienced in any dream. This dinosaur was huge. He was towering over the both of us. It was like a dragon, but it reminded me of a huge T-Rex. He was so tall, but he didn't have any skin. He was like made of all bone or all fossil. He was like this beige fossil, but it wasn't like a rib cage where you can see spaces. It was just all bone, all hard fossil that he was made of. So he was like blowing out fire, these huge plumes of fire at me and Yisrael, aka Dionne Warwick. So he's blowing out these huge plumes of fire everywhere. I mean, it's enough fire to consume a house at every puff. So we're jumping around, getting out of the way. And then I realized, I'm like, wait, I can handle this. I can do the same thing he's doing and more. So I blew out of my mouth to the left, and like a little flame came out. I blew out of my mouth to the right, and a bigger flame came out. Then I went toward the dragon, and I blew at him, and this huge flame came out of my mouth. And the dragon became afraid, and I blew at him even more, and this huge fire that was bigger than the fire he was spitting came out of my mouth, and he basically died. I killed him blowing fire out of my mouth. Okay, then we went back to the house of the Ethiopians. Keep in mind, in this entire neighborhood of all these houses, nobody else is outside but me, Yisrael, the female, and the dragon. So just the three of us, me and the woman, Yisrael, and this dragon. So I go back to the Ethiopian's house, and now some of my relatives are in the house, and it's like I'm a hero. They were so glad, so they decided to let us cook food in there. Now the father was not having a problem with Yisrael being hidden in the house or anything. I didn't have to sneak in there. You know, they were all glad we defeated the dragon. So I came in, and there was a long grill type deal, and it was like just floating in midair. And it was about 16 squares, and on each square you could basically cook a waffle. So the Ethiopians gave me waffles to cook. So the right side of the grill was very hot. I remember I could feel the warmth of the heat from it. And the left side of the grill was cold. It's as if it wasn't working. So I don't know if that means something about being lukewarm. I'm not quite sure. But some of the waffles got burned because it was too hot, and other ones were completely uncooked on the other side. So I'm really thinking that might have something to do with maybe unleavened bread. I'm not sure. But when I got up, I read the Bible, and I went to Job. I believe it was chapter 41. It was like within the last two chapters of the book of Job, and it was talking about the Leviathan, I think it's pronounced. And it's basically like a dragon that blows fire out of its mouth and smoke out of its nostrils. And like it's just huge, mean creature. So if you want to check that out in Job, I think it's chapter 41. It gives, actually about chapter 39 through chapter 41 gives you a great description of what's going on between Job and the Most High, and also of this creature and constellations in the sky. It's very descriptive. So I would suggest you guys want to check out the book of Job, because I don't think I've ever actually read it until today. So anyway, I wanted to know what you guys thought about the dream. My take is, I asked, what should I be doing? And he let me know, saving Yisrael, however possible. He let me know, he gave me the strength. And I'm sure that fire was his word. I've had dreams of visions of swords come out of my stomach and through my throat before, with basically meaning his word. So I just want to know what you guys think, if you wouldn't mind commenting below what this dream means. I know what I took from it, but I'm sure other people need to, so I'm making this video so I can get the word out and make sure that people understand who Judah and the house of Israel is. And the house of Judah or the house of Israel are the people that have been dispersed throughout the four corners of the earth during the Atlantic captivity, or many times called the Atlantic slave trade. So whether you're in the U.S., Canada, Mexico, Central America, South America, the Caribbean, in Europe, you know where you are. I'm letting you all know that you are the house of Judah. If you don't believe so, you should pray to the Most High. His name is Yahweh, and ask him, to reveal this to you so that you're aware, because we are in the last days. So thank you for listening. I hope you guys have a blessed day, and I hope all is well.